Now, it's time for a little R&R.
All into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3, the last day of the week, June the 27th, 2025. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Russo with you. Christian Cat behind the glass at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Got you for the next 2 hours right here on ESPN 106.3. A lot to do, a lot to talk about, a lot of fun to be had. It's quiet time sports, so we're here to figure out what's the next focus? What's that next piece? Thinking about what I'm going to do this weekend because there's not a lot of, there's some baseball during the day and everything. Wimbledon starts pretty soon. I know Christian's not going to watch that, but there's a couple, things that I need to do. And I'm thinking, all right, I need to go see that new F1 movie, which is coming out this weekend with Brad Pitt as a 65-year-old F1 driver. So believable number 101.
Trailers give away a lot, which makes me unhappy. But yeah.
Give away a lot is in terms of what the movie's about?
Like all trailers do these days. They're 2.5 minutes long, and you have the premise, you have the rising action, you have the climax, and often you might even get the end. You might even get the entire script in one trailer.
Are you going to see it?
Haven't seen a movie in a while. If I see a movie in theaters, it'll be 28 years later instead. The zombie movie.
Saw it. Very good.
Really?
Worth seeing.
All right.
Great movie. Got my recommendation.
Nice.
Bizarre. Weird. You got to go into it not expected because that had a great. You want to talk about a trailer? That movie had a great trailer, but the third act of that movie it takes a tone shift, and a lot of people didn't like it. I loved it, but you got to be open minded.
Do you like zombie movies in general?
I do, but that's probably the best zombie movie I've seen.
Yeah, World War Z, really good. Brad Pitt.
Good movie. Brad Pitt. Yeah, good movie.
Did you like The Land of the Dead? The one where they're stuck in the mall.
There's like
with
7
Ty
of them.
Burrell?
That's Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. There's Shaun of the Dead. There's Land of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
There's
the
Dusk
one
of the
in
Dead or something like that.
Yes, there's the one in Vegas that was on Netflix original.
The Vegas one.
Yeah,
I did not see the Vegas one.
Did you
see Zombieland?
Yes,
that's a good movie.
You see the second Zombieland?
Yeah, not good. Not a good movie.
I didn't like it either.
Not a good movie. Zombie movies are tough to hit, but that 28 years later is very good. Did you see 28 Days Later? The original from 2002?
I feel like I did a
Cillian
long
Murphy.
time ago. I don't remember anything about it.
The Walking Dead, which was a famous zombie show, stole their entire pilot from that movie. He wakes up in a hospital.
Right, yes.
Weeks later, oh my God, where is everybody? It's a zombie apocalypse. That's what happens in that one. But you don't need to see that in order to see the new one that just came out. Very good.
I probably will want to.
I'll tell you this, to sell you even more. You could give me 15 million guesses as to what the end scene of the movie is. 15 million.
Oh, man.
And I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not even being hyperbolic. I have no idea whose idea it was, and I loved it.
I'm looking up showtimes at my $5 movie theater right now.
Okay. But the F1 movie comes out this weekend, and it's the same guy who did Top Gun Maverick. And number one, I anticipate it to be good. I hope it's good because I like the director. I like sports movies. But I hope that it's going to be the type of movie that gets me into the sport. I'm not an F1 fan. It doesn't do it for me. Race car driving just generally doesn't do it with me. This is NASCAR too. F1 has become this huge phenomenon. Drive to Survive has a lot to do with that. You know, being that Netflix show, Full Swing had a similar effect on golf. But a movie, and the thing is, I never even got through Drive to Survive. I think I got through the first episode and a half. I never got through it. It just didn't bite for me. But a great movie about said sport, believable or not, and I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of F1 guys in it, that I am hoping will get me into the sport. So hopefully this movie is halfway decent and I could go see it and I'll, because of that, start watching F1 and get into it. I don't know if it will, but I was thinking movies have done that before to me before in the past, early memories of watching football movies and basketball movies. They could get you into sports quietly, Moneyball, when it first came out in 2011, I was a baseball fan, But when I saw Moneyball, I'm like, and I was already an A's fan. I'm like, this is great. It just fed in my belief and the fandom, honestly. I think movies can really lend itself to your sports fandom, and I hope this can do the same. I hope it's a little catalyst.
It's almost like a team or a team in a sport that you don't follow closely makes a run and wins a championship. That makes you feel something, and you hold on to that feeling, and you don't forget that feeling. A movie that is written and executed and produced in a way that is intended to make you feel something, I think it's almost a parallel experience. It's different because, yes, the movie is intending you to, and all their efforts are trying to make you feel a certain way, whether that is gratification, whether that is sadness, whether that is joy and victory. In sports, a championship run, nothing's predetermined. Like, you got fortunate that happened, and it gets you invested now from there on out, where there are a lot of sports fans who are sports fans because of the Dan Marino Dolphins. Now they're a Dolphins fan in 2025 because of that team.
Oh, yeah, true. And sometimes movies can do the same. I was thinking about that specifically. You mentioned the big moments. Is there something that comes to mind for you in the last 10 years? Let's keep it at 10, 2015, that you think warrants a movie being made about it, a sports moment, that is. A movie being made about it.
Ooh, do you have an idea?
I don't know if they would do it. What was her name? The Little League, the pitcher?
Monet Davis.
That could be a decent movie.
She got shelled by the guys in California, though.
Yeah, I know. That's why you'd have to change the ending. You'd have to change the ending. You'd have to change the ending.
I was like 13. I was maybe 14 or 15 when that was happening, and I was Monet Davis's biggest hater.
Oh, you hoped she was going to get shelled?
Oh, I hated Monet Davis.
Oh, she was great. She was cover of Sports Illustrated.
As someone
that needs a movie.
I played baseball on those fields. Yeah, maybe I paid for summer camp. That was in Williamsport.
Okay.
And I didn't pay for it. My mom paid for it.
Right, as a child.
But
as one does, pays for their own summer camp.
Yeah, right. Yeah, my paper route did not cover that. So, I took like a little invested interest in this. Like, who does she think he is? Like these sports talkers.
It's too much publicity, yes. Too much publicity.
And I was like fist pumping at the TV when the guys in California kind of got her out in the third inning.
You think movies need a great baseball movie right now? You think a Cubs one would make sense? About the 2016 team? I don't know if it needs to be something specific, a specific sports moment, but part of me thinks baseball's struggling to reach the younger generation. Release a great movie. Release a great movie that could captivate people and get people into it.
In the past 10 years, it's difficult because so much of what goes on behind the scenes
is public.
We know this. It's social media. You saw it the night of, where I forgot that you said in the last 10 years. So I thought, okay, I think the 86 Mets. And one of those, like a movie with that, I would get invested in and very interested in.
Let's open up that door a little bit. You're right. There are probably so many untapped stories throughout history.
Everything's accessible these days.
That could really, instead of a documentary style, you'd want to watch a movie about it because you could get actors involved. It's a little bit more role play and engaged. So I personally think that baseball with a great movie, you want to captivate the younger audience. Trying to get people in seats. Baseball's got a great fandom of people, 40 plus, 35 plus. Release a great movie about a great story. Do something like that. Do the Big Red Machine. Do something like that. Do the Reds of 75 to 86 Mets. What about the Yankees, that 4-year run? Like a winning time series around that Yankee team. Or Steinbrenner getting the team in 1990.
Right, changing everything.
Would be a hell of an HBO series.
Yeah. It would be a good series.
Because that's when the Yankees
won. They kept winning. The Yankees, it's a little less interesting.
But you could do it with Steinbrenner because 1990, when the Yankees stunk and they were terrible for, 5 or 6 years, you could have that little period of time, whether it's a movie format or what, of that Yankees building up to that dynasty in the 90s. Maybe you don't even show it. I could write a script about that right now. I think that would be a really interesting topic.
All right, so is John Goodman playing George Steinbrenner?
Yeah, you'd have to.
You got to need a big, heavy-set white guy who's got a voice that you will not forget.
Remember, this is younger. This is middle-aged Steinbrenner. But yes, that would make sense. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be a good one because it's a huge brand, huge market. And that come up with the Yankees in the 90s because you could touch on a lot of big topics. You could do the 2001 series against Arizona. That was, a month and a half, 2 months, because they suspended baseball for 2 weeks. That was 2 months after 9/11. And that was when it was the Randy Johnson, 2000, up 3-2 in that series, and he pitched in Game 5 and then pitched again in Game 7.
That would be your movie right there, by the way. That would be it, because you also have the George Bush first pitch, which non-sports fans know about the George Bush first pitch of the World Series.
My mother was at that game.
Really?
I didn't know that until I asked her about the Bin Laden documentary. And she's like, I was at that game when Bush threw out the first pitch. I'm like, that is something you should have told me many years ago. Wow. Fascinating. And my dad got her tickets to the game and didn't go. I'm like, wonder. Mom, that's like one of the most famous sports president moments, probably the most famous president moment surrounding sports in the history of the world.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
And you were in the building. You probably had good seats, too. I don't know where she was sitting, but she was at that game. And you're right, that season, that could be like a movie, that whole run through right there. Because the Yankees, that was the best team in baseball. And that was sort of on the tail end. I think that's what baseball needs.
Yeah, because you also have the underdog story of how do you get a run off of Mariano Rivera to win the World Series? The Diamondbacks did. I think seems impossible when it happened.
That'd be a great sports movie.
That's 24 years ago. Do you have something in the past 10 years that is worthy?
The one thing you said is everything's got a documentary nowadays because documentaries are easier to make than movies and cheaper. So you can make an easy documentary about a famous sports event in the last 10, 15 years that's probably already been made. I think the Cubs would be an easy one. I think that Cubs in 2016, you could talk about the 3-1. You could talk about putting that team together. Similar. It doesn't even have to be about on the field. It could be like a Moneyball. It could be about a behind-the-scenes moment. If there's turmoil behind the scenes, I think that would be something that really is interesting. And they're eventually, I don't know if they will. You think that eventually they can make something COVID-related about all those sports leagues shutting down?
Isn't there already? Like
documentaries, not movies.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? A movie about the bubble. Maybe a historical fiction movie about the bubble. They just rewrite history and it hits the fan.
That would be fun.
And the zombies get involved.
Yeah.
Because they're in the bubble.
You can make a decent movie about that. You can make a decent movie about that.
No. You're negating. You can make a decent zombie movie about the NBA bubble. Sorry.
People would sit down for
appetite.
that. People would sit down for that.
Zombie LeBron, are you kidding me right now?
The Lakers?
Who's going to stop Zombie LeBron?
The Lakers? In a separate part of the hotel they're in Epcot? Oh, that'd be great. You could film on site. But I don't know. I was thinking about it because, if I want a movie about baseball that does what F1 hopefully will do to me. If I really like the movie, I'll get into F1. That will get me to start tuning in. It doesn't even have to, and that's a fictional movie. There is nothing real about that movie. It is a 65-year-old Brad Pitt driving a Formula One race car. It is not a real movie. And you suspend your belief. But if it's interesting and I get into, I guess, the drama around it, I don't know enough about F1. I barely know anything about F1. I think that would be something that, for other people, I'm already a baseball fan, but a movie like that I think would do a lot of good. I really do.
Is there a void right now in terms of entertainment and things to keep up on, or would this replace something? Because that's a. What
do you mean by that?
If you get into F1, you probably have to get out of something else. You only have so many hours in a day.
True, but those are those are random times. It's a worldwide sport. Sometimes it's like the break at dawn. Sometimes it's overnight, right?
Okay, so it's like Rizzo watching soccer at 9 a.m.?
It's not like 7 a.m. on a Monday or 7 p.m. on a Monday. It's not like that.
Okay.
It's more like Sunday mornings. It depends on what part of the location, at least to my understanding. I don't know if I'll watch it every week. I know people that swear by F1, and I don't see the vision. But I haven't given it an honest try. I watched when F1 was in Miami. I gave that a rip. And I watched when it was in Vegas, too, when it was overnight and they did it around the concourse. But I didn't know anything about any of the racers, so therefore, I didn't get a lot out of it. But if I start to get into, the intricacies of, a team putting together a car, because it's a whole team. It's a team effort. You're building a car. Ford versus Ferrari was an interesting one.
I did watch that once and didn't rewatch it, but I remember liking it.
That was a good movie. And I think it was the 62 Le Mans. And maybe you keep making movies about the like the 60s and the forgotten stories, because that's sort of a forgotten story. But I think baseball's due for one. I think baseball would be due. There's not enough, like of those. There's been a Field of Dreams, Bull Durham, all those stuff, Rookie of the Year. Baseball needs a little bit more of that.
The last baseball movie, it couldn't have been Moneyball, was it?
No, like big
Has it
one.
been that long?
No, definitely there's been more. I gotta think specifically, but I can't think of a great one in the last 5 years. I can't think of a great one in the last 10 years. And they churn them out with other sports. I don't know. I don't think that there is I guess we're not too fulfilled with sports movies. I think there needs to be more sports movies. I get excited whenever there's a sports movie coming out. It's too inundated with musical biopics and superhero movies.
Yeah.
It needs more. I think we need more sports movies.
Trouble with the Curve was the year after Moneyball.
Yeah, it was 2013, 2012, something like that. Yeah. That's a good movie. It was, that was more about scouting. But yes, it was a good movie. And Moneyball, I believe, was an Academy-nominated movie.
This was recognized by the film buffs.
Yeah.
Which is tough to do.
Right. When was the last great baseball movie? It was literally 2011. If you want to count 2012, that was really it.
Wow.
There hasn't been something interesting since, what was it, the 90s with like Bull Durham and everything? I think that came out in 89. I haven't even thought about that in a while. When is the next great baseball movie? We have an F1 movie. We've had the quarterback. I mean, now we have the Clubhouse on Netflix, but still, give us something with baseball. Winning Time with basketball on the HBO. I know it got canceled. That was an interesting retelling of the Showtime Lakers.
I'm pretty sure Jordan Peele is making a horror football movie right now.
Yes, he is. He is not making it. He is producing it, but yes. And this is nothing to do with football. It is. It's like a big psychological thing. Like, it's a Jordan Peele movie. Like, it's going to be like a horror movie.
All right.
It's not going to be, you're not going to go out of there like knowing more about like the 80s Redskins. You're not going to it's not going to be like that.
We're not going to be talking about sports movies, Mount Rushmores after. Top 5, well, whatever the name of that movie from Jordan Peele is.
No.
Not a sports movie?
No. Do you have a sports movie, Mount Rushmore?
I'm not the biggest sports movie guy.
Really?
So
I'm talking to myself here? You don't even agree with me?
Not necessarily. I like Bench Warmers with Rob Schneider and
Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, that's good. I like that movie. Dodgeball is great.
You don't. So, for example, all right, let's go through this. Of the historical sports movies, have you seen Hoosiers?
No.
You have not seen Hoosiers?
No. Don't care to.
You don't care to?
Mm-mm.
That's probably a top 3 sports movie ever made. Have you seen Rocky?
Yeah. It was always on when I was waiting for a haircut growing up.
So you watched it over the years at a barbershop, and it took you a couple years to finish?
I eventually filled in every single gap. Growing up, getting my haircut in the same place at Greg's Barbershop since I was 6 years old until, really, I waited until I was out of college. I would go home just get a haircut. So that's about 16 years, and I got all of Rocky from that.
Have you seen Rudy?
Yeah, probably once.
Have you seen Remember the Titans?
Yeah, probably once.
What do you mean probably once?
It was probably on TNT.
So just live on TV somewhere?
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, have you seen Coach Carter?
I know it's Sam L. Jackson.
So, all right, you don't know anything about it. You don't know anything about it. You haven't watched it.
No.
You haven't watched it. Did you watch? I mean, this came out 2 years ago. Did you watch The Iron Claw about the Von Erichs?
I did watch that movie. Yeah,
you did. All right, so you actually have a couple.
Yeah, my favorite wrestler was in it, so I had to.
Jeez, have you seen Miracle? Please tell me you've seen Miracle.
That's the hockey? No, I haven't watched Miracle.
You haven't watched Miracle?
No, I've referenced Miracle often with the speech in the locker room, but that's the only attachment I have to the movie.
So you've seen the Herb Brooks speech in the locker room, but you haven't seen Miracle.
Yeah. My favorite clip to use before you
can't
fire
use
off
clips.
fireworks.
You haven't seen it.
Well, I'm saying like the Herb Brooks speech in Miracle.
Yeah.
I like when they use that before they set off fireworks at a ballpark.
Yeah, great opportunity or great moments come from great opportunity.
That and the Independence President speech.
Yes. You haven't seen Miracle.
No.
Wow. Have you seen Foxcatcher? That's a good wrestling.
No.
That's a true story. No, you have not seen it.
Like a pro wrestling
No, not WWE, like wrestling,
Okay.
like as a sport.
Huh. No, I have not. I didn't even heard of that one.
Oh, that's a good. I think that was Academy and nominated. You haven't seen that one.
Mm-mm.
Jeez. I mean, have you seen Major League?
That's when the kid
You've
gets
seen
the twins?
You've seen Caddyshack.
No.
You have not seen Caddyshack.
Mm-mm. Wait, is Major League the one where he gets the baseball team?
Yes, it's about the Indians.
Yes, and he inherits them, and he's now
Yes.
the owner?
Correct.
Okay.
You have seen that.
Yeah. I've seen Angels in the outfield a lot.
Okay. Have you seen? Like I'm surprised. I'm a little. Have you seen The Blind Side?
Yes. Okay, you know what? I've probably watched that movie a lot.
Okay, so you've seen that one. Have you seen We Are Marshall?
Yeah,
About the 1970 Marshall team with the plane crash?
of course. Yeah.
You have seen. Oh, that's it, of course. That's it, of course.
Yeah. Who do you think I am?
Oh, so you've seen that one. Jeez. I mean, and you haven't. Have you seen? What is the one about Jesse Owens? Is it Race?
Asking the wrong guy.
Oh God, you haven't seen the. I don't even know the name, so I can't even bring it up. But like, I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie about Jesse Owens. Good movie.
What's the bobsled movie?
About the.
Jamaican bobsled team.
I have not seen that one.
Me neither.
All right. So
I know if it's
bobsled team. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So you haven't seen that. God.
Jamaican bobsled. Yeah.
What I
Cool
mean,
Runnings
you
from
gotta
1993.
you gotta watch these movies. I don't understand.
That's my summer. You know what? NBA's done. NHL's done. Yankees have an off day.
Did you see the movie about Serena Williams' father, King Richard?
No.
That came out 3 years ago with Will Smith.
Yeah.
He won the Oscar for it.
He did. Good for him. Did not see the movie, no.
He might have not won the Oscar. Did you see Air? About Nike signing Jordan.
That's probably the last good sports movie that came out. Didn't see it, no.
You did not see it.
I said good as if I know.
Yeah.
But I've told.
So you haven't seen that.
No.
Did you see Glory Road?
What's that about?
Did you see 42?
Yes.
You have seen 42.
I cried during 42.
Oh, okay.
It was in between two-a-days in summer football practice, and I was in an emotional, vulnerable spot. I was tired.
So in between 2 days, you watched 42 to motivate yourself?
No, more to self-pity myself.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, you know what? Chadwick Boseman's going through a lot of stuff right now, and so am I. My calves are sore.
Okay. So you haven't. All right. So you haven't seen that. Jeez. Have you seen the Invincible movie with Mark Wahlberg about Vince Papale on the Eagles?
Feel like I bits and pieces, probably at Greg's Barbershop.
That's a barbershop movie. I was just about to say. That's quite a barbershop movie, but you haven't seen it officially.
Greg's Barbershop probably kept Blu-ray in business because he had every DVD. He never went digital.
That was him? That was him who
Yes.
kept it together?
Mm-hmm.
God, you got to watch a couple of these movies. We're going to have to put together a list. Miracle, I'm the most surprised about. That's an important movie. You've seen Rudy that we watched about Rudy. You watched Rudy.
Seen Friday Night Lights. I like the show better. Big fan of Kyle Chandler.
I'm the opposite. I like the movie better, but okay. You haven't seen, I mean, I don't know if I want to count this as have you seen the movie Rush? It's a race movie. Have you seen it?
No.
You have not seen that. Wow.
Watch the Dale Earnhardt documentary.
Did you see The Fighter with Christian Bale?
Yes.
With Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
That's a good sports movie.
That's
You've
a good
seen
movie.
that?
Also, Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's
Good
a
movie.
great UFC movie. That'll make you feel things.
Boxing movie. Boxing.
That's right. Yeah, boxing movie.
Yeah, not a UFC. Boxing movie. A good UFC movie is Warrior.
That's what I was thinking of.
You've watched Warrior about the two brothers?
Yes. Okay, so maybe I didn't see The Fighter because that's what I thought Warrior was.
With Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite movie of all time.
Great movie.
Yeah, I watch that movie once or twice a year.
We need more fighting tournaments that go city to city.
Right. I think there's a bunch of logistical issues with that. So I'm just trying to make sense of this. Have you seen Raging? You definitely haven't seen Raging Bull, right?
No.
You have not seen Raging Bull.
Haven't seen Bull Durham. Heard about it.
You haven't seen Bull Durham. Have you seen Field of Dreams?
Yeah. Probably once or twice, but a long time ago.
Right.
I never seek it out. It would put me to sleep.
Have you seen The Bad News Bears?
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
Have you seen let's go a couple basketball movies. Have you seen He Got Game?
Probably. I don't know. No,
Nice.
no.
You haven't. All right, so you haven't.
I haven't seen White Man Can Jump or Can Jump. How does that go?
Not an important movie to go see. Decent movie. It's not a great movie.
Like Mike, I definitely watched that with a young Jesse Plemons.
How about this? Did you watch the OJ made the People vs. OJ series?
With David Schwimmer?
Yes,
or is it the other one?
Well, there's two. There's Made in America. Did you watch either the OJ docu
I am
movies?
fascinated by that stuff. So, yeah, I did.
All right, so you did. Did you? All right, here's a big one. Have you seen The Sandlot?
I hate The Sandlot. I've seen it more times than I wanted to. It's a really bad movie.
What we care about is that you've seen it.
Yes.
You've seen it. Okay. Jeez. I mean, unbelievable.
Awful movie. Awful. I can't stand the movie. Very dumb. Plot does not make any sense.
I mean, these are like, did you see any of the other Rockies outside of Rocky 1?
The Creed movies. I've seen all the Creed movies.
All right. Creed 1 is good.
I watched Creed 2 while on the car ride to Six Flags.
Wow.
On my phone.
We got some work to do. I mean, I was thinking about this too. Now that unless you're going to be watching the Yankee games during the days, you got a little bit more free time with the not watching stuff at night because there's no basketball, there's no hockey. And unless you're going to be watching 162 games, you got a little bit more maneuverability to watch something. You got to catch up on some of these. There are some important movies on here that you got to watch.
Yeah.
And it starts with Miracle.
Come September, I will be the judge, jury, and executioner on every single sports movie debate.
Did you see He Got Game?
No.
No, you didn't.
What's that about?
That's the one that Ray Allen was in as Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Oh, what's the one about the Thunder with KD? Thunderstruck.
I'm pretty sure that's a TV movie. That's like a TV
I was
movie.
given that DVD. I haven't popped it in the Xbox or PS5 yet.
Have you seen Brian's song about Gale Sayers?
No.
You have not seen that.
I probably have scrolled past it a bunch. Ooh, I've seen a lot of Air Buds.
We're going to skip that. Have you seen 8 Men Out?
No.
About the Black Sox?
No, I wouldn't have guessed what that movie was about unless you told me.
Okay. So you haven't seen that. That's a good one. That came out years ago. You've seen Happy Gilmore.
Yes, many, many times.
That's a movie that baseball needs. Something like that.
Yeah.
That movie, Happy Gilmore, probably had a positive impact on the popularity of golf.
I would say so.
I think baseball needs.
It made golf cool.
And baseball needs a movie like that. Currently, have you seen The Mighty Ducks?
Probably. Yeah, it probably was on Disney.
I haven't seen The Mighty Ducks in years, admittedly, but I have seen it.
I can picture what the opposing team was wearing. So there's definitely some Mighty Ducks memories in my noggin. I've seen Luck of the Irish, also another Disney Channel movie, sports movie, basketball player.
Have you seen McFarland USA?
Don't know what that's a cross-country movie, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah? You sound disappointed.
It is.
I didn't see it, though.
Seen it. Yeah,
I saw all the trailers and the ads for it.
It's okay. Good shout by Courtney Rukoff is in the office. The Benchwarmers is basically the Happy Gilmore of baseball, but it's not as popular as Happy Gilmore. But, all right, decent point.
I went to see Benchwarmers. I dragged my grandma to it and got so uncomfortable. It was still PG-13, but it is a little bit raunchy for a PG-13 movie, and I was so embarrassed.
Have you seen Secretariat?
No.
You have not watched Secretariat. Jeez. All right. We got some work to do.
I have not seen The Perfect Game with Shia LaBeouf either.
The golf movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen Borg versus McEnroe? That's another good Shia LaBeouf movie. Shia LaBeouf is Borg.
What's Cyborg? Like what? Borg?
Oh, boy.
Superhero?
We're going to move on. We're going to move on.
Borg?
John McEnroe, the tennis player?
I know McEnroe.
Well, what do you think Borg's about?
McEnroe is known for a lot of things, not tennis. Haven't seen any
It's not a great movie. It's not a great movie, but it is interesting nonetheless because it was Bjorn Borg, who is one of the greatest tennis players of all time, against McEnroe. Big rivalry. Nothing to do with cyborgs.
Doesn't hold a candle to Sampras. That's what I'd say about that.
888-760-3776. I think Christian has some work to do. Greatest sports movie of all time in your eyes. What is it? 888-760-3776. If you have a Mount Rushmore, let us know. Christian, start thinking of your Mount Rushmore. We'll do that on the flip side.
Of sports movies?
Of the three you've seen. Try to put four together. 888-760-3776. Russo and Rizzo taking a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com.
Introducing DQ Grill & Chill's new sauced and tossed buffalo chicken strips. A basket of 100% all-white meat seasoned chicken strips, now being served with blue cheese or ranch dressing dips. The blizzard of the month is the Strawberry Cheesecake Blizzard, a new flavor for the summer, featuring a creamy blend of strawberry cheesecake pieces in vanilla soft serve, dipped in strawberry topping. DQ Grill & Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, if you've been in a car accident, truck accident, you suffered a slip and fall at an accident of any kind, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys are the type to fight for you. They don't charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine today because that's the Anajar and Levine difference. All it takes, one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for that free consultation today. Don't waste any time. Get what you deserve today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. Colin Russo, Christian Cat. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. We're live at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, June the 27th, 2025. 888-760-3776. Christian has watched about 4 total sports movies. Maybe you got to watch the F1 movie instead of the zombie movie, just to get the number up.
I wouldn't even consider it a sports movie. F1, is it a sport? I don't know.
Yeah.
The reason I like racing, I think we spoke about it on Theoretically Speaking, not here on Russo and Rizzo, but the only reason I tune into motorsports is to see the crashes. And they don't crash much in F1, do they?
You hope, because it's life-threatening situations that you're banking on.
Sure. If an F1 car hit a wall, it probably would vaporize. But that's the action in NASCAR. That's the clip I watch in entirety on Twitter when I hear about the big one happening in the Daytona 500 or at Bristol. I watch the crash.
Fair enough.
Maybe once a year I'll watch a thrilling finish where it's neck and neck at the turn and there's a crazy.
Well, it's also because you're not into the sport. You need to get into the sport. I'm not into the sport either, which is why I need the movie. Hopefully the movie will get me into it, right? You're not interested because you don't have an attachment. It's similar to golfers. Like, you're not going to tune into a random golf match. If you don't know any of the golfers, you don't have any of the story, you don't really care about the game, what's going to sell you? You're going to be sold on the people that are actually doing it. So I think that's probably step one, if I'm incorrect on that, right?
Maybe golf's not the best example because people can just play it whenever they want and just do it and can relate a little bit to it, whereas F1, maybe you race in some circumstance. Like when we raced at the go-kart track and we raced with a F1 or F2, I forget his classification, driver. That's why he probably tunes into F1 is because he can relate to it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. It's just like, I mean, people sitting there like, I'm rooting for Mercedes. You're rooting for Mercedes?
What does that mean?
I'm rooting for Red Bull. What do you mean you're rooting for Red Bull?
That's probably how Europeans...
Did you get grown up? Did you born into a family who roots for Red Bull?
But then again, that's probably what Europeans think Americans sound like. I'm rooting for Texas University. Wait, what?
I mean, maybe, but there's like affinity. You go to class there. University is not a foreign subject.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Coca-Cola.
Right, like that's what it is. Like like these random big brand corporations that build cars, and they're all fresh and new.
Let's go Walmart.
Yeah, like you got to get attached to a specific driver. All right, Mount Rushmores of sports movies. I'll do mine first. You can put some thought into this.
It is June 27th. That's what that tells you.
Amen to that. This is on my mind because I'm going to go see F1 this weekend. I'm going to try to mix it up. I'm not going to do many of the same sports. I'm going to try to mix it up. Number one, baseball. Got to knock out a baseball movie. Moneyball's the best baseball movie ever made. Bar none. I don't want to listen about Major League. I don't want to listen about Field of Dreams. I don't need to listen to Bull Durham. I don't need to listen to The Sandlot. Moneyball is the best actual movie, baseball movie, that I've ever seen. It's not accurate. It is accurate, but it's not. It left out some glaring holes. Acting like when they lose Jason Giambi and they lose Johnny Damon, that they replaced them with Scott Hatteberg and they won 102 games. They missed out some things. I understand. They didn't mention one thing about the triple threat Cy Young winners. Moneyball's number one. All right, that's the best baseball movie of the bunch.
I like it. I didn't love the movie. I fell asleep in theaters when I watched it first time.
I love the movie. One of my all-time favorites. I watch it every March for baseball season. Number two, I'll go basketball. Best basketball movie I've ever seen is Coach Carter, which you have not seen. Samuel L. Jackson, high school sports movie. Great movie. I can watch Coach Carter every year.
See, I just think Snakes on a Plane when I hear Samuel L. Jackson's voice in a serious manner.
He's been in 500 movies, and Snakes on a Plane is...
Yes! Get these snakes off this plane!
All right, I'm going to do a fighting movie. Warrior. That's number three. Warrior is the third on the movie. I was thinking of that or Creed. I'm going to go Warrior. Warrior is an outstanding movie and great fighting movie. So I got Warrior, I got Coach Carter, and then I got Moneyball. The last one is probably Miracle. Miracle is probably the fourth. True story, great movie, great performances. It's the story. It's Miracle. It's almost the sports movie. That's number three. I tried to mix up the sports a little bit. Those are my top four.
Okay.
Christian, do you have a top four? And this is gonna be something. Go ahead.
We omitted one last segment when talking about sports movies, and I am kind of sad because maybe the biggest strike against me as a Yankee fan is not watching Game 5 of this year's World Series on my phone when at a Little People wrestling event. It's not that. It's that I love the movie Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore.
Haven't seen it in years, but yeah.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Haven't seen it in years.
Johnny Damon is a focal point at one point with a fan heckle or actually complimenting him from the crowd. Fever Pitch. I've always wanted season tickets to something in my life, and the scene of Jimmy Fallon, Yankee fan, Jimmy Fallon getting the Red Sox season tickets in his mailbox and rushing back home and calling all his friends to see which games are going to what. That is a dream of mine to do with my favorite baseball team at one point in life. They got to be physical copies of tickets too.
So that's how you need the stubs. That's on the list?
That is a Mount Rushmore
Wow, okay.
baseball sports movie.
You could have a
for
different
me.
criteria than me. You could choose whatever you want. But all right, so you got Fever Pitch.
Then I'm going to go with Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal. Boxing movie.
But the boxing, not the UFC one, but the boxing.
Yes.
Yes. That's a good movie.
Awesome movie. It makes you feel something.
You like that? You like that one more than Creed?
Yes.
Okay.
I did not, and this is a separate point because there are 3 different Creed movies. Didn't like Creed 3. It wasn't a boxing movie at all.
No, the movie stunk.
Yeah, I wish I didn't see it in theaters. So not making the list there. What is making the list of Southpaw? You should go see it. Jake Gyllenhaal, like you see him in...
Plug the movie?
Yes. You see him in Nightcrawler, awesome. You see him in End of Watch, awesome. Why are those movies awesome? Because he's a great actor. He's a great actor in Southpaw, too.
All right, so you like that? What's your third?
Benchwarmers.
Okay.
Gotta go bench.
Good
Makes
movie.
me laugh every time. It's been a dream of mine to build my own ballpark like John Lovitz does in Little League at the end.
Yep.
Forgot the name of the ballpark, but it is the essential field of dreams where they have a pool in a right center field that I've always wanted, like the Diamondbacks have, if I recall correctly. And movie number 4 on my Mount Rushmore favorite sports movies, don't even have one. It's a vacant. It's for the taking.
You don't have one? Oh, for the taking. So you need to watch Miracle.
I don't have a 4th movie that is sports that I love so much to put it in that spot.
Okay, you're not going to put a shoe in there.
No.
You didn't like Friday Night Lights enough to put it in there, huh? You didn't like Remember the Titans to put it in there.
No, not enough. See, this would be like putting the Cincinnati Bearcats in the college football playoff like they were several years ago. There shouldn't have been 4 teams in that playoff. There were only 3 teams that were worthy of being in the college football playoff. There's only 3 sports movies that
It's
are
like the
worthy.
play-in teams. It's the play-in teams.
Yeah, earn it. Show me something in these next 5 years.
You need a play-in for your 4th Mount Rushmore spot.
It'd be a bloodbath, a battle royale. They got to fight tooth and nail because it can't just be, I'm not caught between 2. No, no one's earned it. Maybe a movie comes out in the next 5 to 10 years that will make its way onto my Mount Rushmore.
You think there'll ever be a movie about LeBron?
There was one, right?
No, like when he was in high school. Well, like nothing like that. He's played himself in movies. Space Jam, if you want to count that.
Ooh, is Trainwreck a sports movie because LeBron James is in it with Bill Hader?
No, which he's good in the movie, by the way. But
Yes.
no. No.
I saw that movie. How about that?
Yeah, that's not a sports movie. It's a comedy. It's like a raunchy comedy. But I there's got to be a movie about his life at some point.
Yeah, I worry that it won't be good, though, because LeBron James will have every detail nailed down. It will not make it to the movie theaters without LeBron saying, yeah, that's good. And the problem with that
he would
is
probably make the movie. He would probably make the movie.
you won't get the complicated nature. Like, LeBron James is so polarizing. So there's negatives and positives to LeBron James.
That, you know what they would do instead? They're going to make a Last Dance in some sorts, a 10-part series documentary about his career. That's what probably they're going to do. And he'll be an executive producer, and sort of like how Jordan was. You know, I love The Last Dance. It's a fluff piece in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So that's probably what we're going to see
You know
instead.
what? It fed the nostalgia. We'll probably think about LeBron James the
You'll
way
only
we feel
remember
about
the good- yeah,
Jordan
you only
in
remember the good
15
stuff.
years.
You only remember the good stuff at the image. You don't remember the bad stuff.
We'll all talk like Mike Rizzo when discussing the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers and talking about how LeBron James was infallible when it is 2040 and people want to talk about Cooper Flagg.
That's it. All right, so you got an open 4th spot in your sports movie, Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
And we have Ernie and Boynton who wants to share his top sports movies of all time.
Ernie in Boynton Beach, 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. Ernie, what do you got for us?
All right. You mentioned a few there that he hasn't seen. Remember the Titans. I'm a goofball, so I got to put Caddyshack in there just because golf cannot be any funner than Caddyshack.
I think Caddyshack's a little overrated, Ernie. And I don't know. It's funny. It's not an otherworldly movie in my opinion. But Christian also is Mr. Golf and hasn't
because
seen it.
it's this generation will never get it. It's what it was at its time. For that time period, it was hilarious.
Right.
Now it's not the same anymore. It doesn't hit the same. But yeah, in time it lost its luster. But I still have that as my one of my tops. The program. I don't know if you even got to see that one, C-Cat, but the program you've got to see because that's pretty much Johnny Manziel 2.0 before it happened. Let me see what else. Hoosiers is my basketball.
Hoosiers is a good one. That's
Hoosiers and basketball, and the Miracle is a good one. The Miracle is a great one, to be honest. It's a true story, and you can't go wrong with that.
Right.
The Miracle.
100%. Appreciate the call, Ernie. Hoosiers. That's one you got to watch. That's the basketball movie.
I think I've got the bullet points on Hoosiers nailed down here.
Okay.
They're in Indiana, and they shouldn't win, but they do win basketball games.
Yeah, small town, new coach.
Okay, this is high school.
High school. Indiana State champion. I think it was 1955 this took place.
I like high school sports movies more than I do.
Yeah, it's high school.
Okay.
And new coach, polarizing coach. It's small town Indiana. There's one great player named Jimmy Chipwood. They all have troubling pasts. Alcoholic assistant coach.
One Tree Hill. I've watched all of the seasons until they flash forward of One Tree Hill. A lot of basketball in that.
I have not watched that, so I can't comment on that. But I do know there's basketball in that. Hoosiers, Miracle, those two, and then maybe a Rudy if you haven't seen Rudy. So those three.
I don't need to see Rudy again. I saw it a long time ago. Maybe I saw it like 15 years ago.
And I hate Notre Dame. It's a good movie.
I like Sean Astin. I don't need to see Sean Astin like that.
I hate Notre Dame. It's a good movie, though. It's a good movie. Christian, Cat, Colin, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. We take a timeout here. Back after this.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's new press. Bigger, faster, and more competitively priced than anything you'll find anywhere in the Palm Beaches. Think variable data postcards, bulk mailings, and high-quality print on stocks up to a 24-point board. Banyan Printing. Visit banyanonline.com and discover how your business's printing materials can get bigger and better.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Arguably the most successful and recognized team in the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers, have officially been sold. $10 billion. The Buss family has agreed to sell a majority stake of the Los Angeles Lakers to businessman Mark Walter. $10 billion. So let's rewind back to 1979, where Dr. Jerry Buss purchased the Los Angeles Lakers, the Forum, and the Los Angeles Kings for $67.5 million. The Buss family, great players and coaches, made the Lakers what they are today, but it's a new chapter. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management Program.
Good people, it's Theo Dorsey. Celebrate Independence Day with baseball at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium for the Mega Bash July 3rd and 4th. Don't miss the biggest 4th of July party in Jupiter as the Palm Beach Cardinals and the Jupiter Hammerheads take the field. Both games start at 6 p.m. featuring post-game fireworks and the Mega Kids area with inflatables. Stop by the ticket office today or go to RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com to purchase your tickets.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Quite literally, 81 games into the Major League Baseball season. Halfway through. I know a lot of people look at All-Star break in that regard. A lot of people look at the deadline in that part before you really kick it into gear. But we're halfway through the season. It's hard to judge a team based on a month's of body of work. It's hard to judge a team based on even a month and a half, 2 months of body of work. But once you get to around 3 months, once you get to the 80 games, 70, 80 game mark, you really have a sense of who these teams are. Christian, you're a Yankee fan of the bunch, 46-34 halfway point. Are you pleased? Or I know everybody's talking about how many holes the Yankees have, especially with their bats. Are you pleased with where the Yankees are at? Or is this a disappointing run so far, 80 games in?
Things change for a Yankee fan such as myself after you make it to the World Series. I said going into last year, I said during the regular season, I said it before the postseason, the goal is to make the World Series. Making the World Series is a successful season. Don't tell me about 27 rings. I have had enough of that conversation. Those are not the New York Yankees we're looking at in this century.
Yeah.
Get to the World Series. They haven't been to one since 2009. It's different this year. And the problem with that is the problems the New York Yankees have is the same mistakes that had them ousted in 5 games against the Los Angeles Dodgers, and that is stupid base running mistakes. It's boring, and it's
bad
back
base
to
running
first grade.
mistakes. They're not great they're not great defensively and fielding.
The stuff that you're going to go home tonight if you're driving in the car and teaching your Little League baseball player, how is this an Achilles heel for the New York Yankees? But it is. If they played great defense and were great in the base pads, I would feel so good about the New York Yankees' chances to win the World Series, which is the goal for this season. So I don't feel great because, like a lot of baseball conversation is, if you are a fan of a team that has championship aspirations, you're already thinking about October now. And that is a horrible headspace to be in because, yeah, you can go on a big winning streak.
It's a long season.
But if those symptoms of your fatal flaws are still there, it's hard to truly get wrapped up in it and enjoy it. When you're the Cubs, where you've had struggling seasons and now you're winning games,
exciting.
You can dive in head first and enjoy every bit of it. If PCA makes a dumb play in center field, that's okay. He's a young kid. You're enjoying the ride. The fact that you have an MVP candidate in Pete Crow Armstrong is a joy. But it's different when you're a team that gets there, like if you're a Dodgers fan. Honestly, if you're a Mets fan, you're worrying about the collapse in the postseason.
Yeah, you see Jazz Chisholm, bobble a ball at second, and you're thinking, oh, boy, this reminds me of the collapse in Game 5. Or, you're right. There is a foresight that comes with postseason expectations that really knocks you off gear. But the one thing I'll say about the Yankees is at this point, they need to figure out a way to make sure that Judge is in a good spot to not put the weight of the world on his shoulders by the time the postseason comes around.
Yeah.
And I know they sort of had that with Soto last year, but the weight was still on Judge because of the Triple Crown. He needs to have the least amount of pressure possible in order for him to succeed. That's, I think, my antidote to figuring out his postseason struggles.
Right, exactly. We're thinking about Aaron Judge is having a great offensive season this year. Slow down a little bit after being out of the gates.
We've seen it before. It's an Aaron Boone team that can't field, can't run on the base paths, have a lot of streaky bats, and then one of the great peaks of offensive baseball hitting that we have ever seen. But that's been the Yankees and a couple great starters and a lot of bad ones. That's been the Yankees for the better part of 4 or 5 years now.
No Garrett Cole. Just got to repeating that self for casual baseball fans. There is no Garrett Cole on that team this year due to shoulder surgery. Or Tommy, one of the
You did replace him with Fried, but yes, you did replace him with Fried.
I mean, I'm still not going to feel comfortable with the pitching staff in a series like that. It's a very uncomfortable spot to be as a New York Yankee fan because you take the wins with a grain of salt every single time, where the real season begins in October because of how disproportionately important the postseason games are in baseball.
Coming into the season, my World Series prediction was my ALCS were the Red Sox and the Rangers getting out of the AL against the Dodgers, and the Rangers are 40-41, and the Red Sox are 40-42. and one team can't hit, and the other team just traded away their best bat to the San Francisco Giants for no reason. That was two of my big mistakes, and it made me bitter about that. I'm thinking about my overs now. Oakland A's, they were 22-20. I'm an A's fan, yes. They were 22-20. They beat the Dodgers 11-1, May 13th. We were checking earlier today. They're 33-50. They've won 11-30 in those 41 games. And they're 13 games under 500 in their own building.
Wow.
That is for a team that has probably the rookie of the year and four guys you're going to get 25 homers. That is my big disappointment of the year. Being an A's fan is the big collapses like that. Did you see also that the Rockies have the worst start, 81 game start in the history, or in 121 years in the MLB? We were talking about it a little bit once they got the 9-50 range, but 18-63, they're 32 games back. They've won 8 games in Coors Field. 8 total. I think the story of the halfway point is you get the big market teams are still figuring it out. You wonder what's going on with Atlanta, and you got some historically, hilariously bad teams in the A's and the Colorado Rockies and the Pirates in the last 2.5 months.
Rockies swept the Marlins, though.
They did. That was at Lone Depot, right?
Yes.
That was right after they went 9-50, and then they won 3 in a row, and everybody thought the season was turning around.
Wait, all right. Everyone thought the season was turning around?
Trending upward is the better word.
Trending winning streak.
Or, inclining the decline. That would be the takeaway. But, 18-63. And I went to Coors Field. The worst part is people still go to the games. I went to a Giants Rocky game, 2 weeks ago? People still go to the games. People are still showing up and giving them money.
You know who is not drawing fans? One of the bigger rivalries in baseball is Cubs-Cardinals.
Yeah.
St. Louis is not supporting their baseball team right now.
Which is weird because St. Louis is a great sports town. The Blues do really well. I think people are just really sick of the Cardinals letting all their big guys walk and just embracing this youth movement that hasn't worked out. But you're right. It's been a weird little hiatus of intensity that they've seen from the Cubs. The Cubs care about the Brewer, or I would say Milwaukee cares. Milwaukee and the Cubs is more of a little rivalry right now than the Cardinals and the Cubs are, which is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
The Brewers care more. My perspective on the halfway point is I think a lot of it is what I've expected. We have a couple guys who are knocking on the door of the MVP ballot, but it's likely going to be Ohtani and Judge. Cal Raleigh for the American League and Pete Crow Armstrong, for the National League. But it's still likely going to be Ohtani and Judge. And then coming out of it, you have a couple teams that are, pretty good, but chances are you're going to see Dodgers, Yankees this time again. I'd be surprised. That would be my prediction still today. Dodgers, Yankees again with Judge and Ohtani getting the MVPs.
And you know what that would feel like? That would feel like the NBA, and that would feel like the Cavs getting out of the East because the East is not good. The Warriors dominating the West because they have a super team on the West Coast.
Is there a 3-1 series comeback in the works?
Maybe, hopefully. That'd be nice if we actually follow the script. I would trade a World Series championship for the Yankees this year in exchange for getting embarrassed the next 2 years after that by the very same Dodgers.
Lose 8 straight against the Dodgers next 2 years. That's fine. All right, we'll take it.
But that's what it feels like. It feels like you do have two superpowers in baseball. One is clearly better than the other. The Dodgers are clearly better than the New York Yankees. But in the American League, there just isn't someone that you can confidently say would be favorites in a 5 or 7 game series against the Yankees.
Yeah, I guess the part of it is you think about that Cleveland era against the Warriors. The main series is that 2016 one. A lot of it is because it got unfair, quote unquote, after Durant joined the team. But they beat them 3 out of 4 years. And then the only one that really has like a foothold of impact is that the 3-1 comeback. So maybe if the Yankees pull that off, that would be that story. And it's weird because you're comparing two teams that spend more than anybody.
Yeah.
But still, outmatched, outclassed. That would be a great postseason. That would be a great postseason finish. Christian Cat, Colin Russo and Rizzo. No Mike Rizzo today on a holiday, as the Australians say, to going on a wedding in Denver, I believe. So he's out there right now. We got to do a little 5 and 5 as we enter into the second hour live from the City Place Studios. It's Russo and Rizzo taking a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Introducing DQ Grill and Chill's new sauced and tossed buffalo chicken strips. A basket of 100% all-white meat seasoned chicken strips, now being served with blue cheese or ranch dressing dips. The blizzard of the month is the Strawberry Cheesecake Blizzard, a new flavor for the summer, featuring a creamy blend of strawberry cheesecake pieces in vanilla soft serve, dipped in strawberry topping. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Celebrate 4th of July weekend with a true American baseball legend. On Sunday, July 6th, be part of history as Jim Leyland is introduced to the Marlins Hall of Fame, the legendary manager who led the Fish to their first World Series title in 1997. And later brought home gold for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. Arrive early for the pregame ceremony and take home a limited edition Jim Leyland baseball card bobblehead. Get your tickets now at marlins.com/tickets.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
The weather is heating up and summer is here. Stay cool with EDS air conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in sports, not in your home. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the name you can trust since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today. Game day comfort starts now. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
You know, it's June 27th, and I'm already itching about bowl season, even though it's a couple months away. The college football season is nearly upon us, and the 2025 Boca Raton Bowl is kicking off its 12th year, going to be right here in South Florida, down in Boca. Tuesday, December 23rd is the official date. Tuesday, December 23rd at 2 p.m. at FAU Stadium. The game is going to air on ESPN. It's going to have two of the biggest and best teams from the group of five. They're going to battle it out for their shot at the title. You can find more information now by going to BocaRatonBowl.com. Follow along on Twitter at Boca Bowl or at Facebook.com/Boca Bowl for more updates. Once again, the 2025 Boca Raton Bowl, it's Tuesday, December 23rd at FAU Stadium. You're going to blink and it's going to be August, and then you're going to blink again and it's going to be December, and we're going to be right there at the Boca Bowl down in Boca Raton. Colin Russo, Christian Cat, it's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. If you missed any of the program today, you want to listen back, go listen to Russo and Rizzo on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Or after this, you can catch ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, which will be airing from 6 to 7. Two good interviews there. Talk a little bit about some high school football coming up in the Palm Beach County Treasure Coast area. You also got Saturday Tailgate tomorrow with myself and Kate Chumslin. That's tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then you have Sunday Huddle with myself and, again, Kate Chumslin, 10 a.m. on Sunday. Christian.
Wow, 7 days of work for Colin Russo.
It's an hour.
This guy does not quit on the slowest time of the sports season.
It's an hour.
What do you want to talk about tomorrow morning? What do you think? What's going to come up?
Probably some baseball. It's an hour. Maybe make some futures. Christian Cat, let's bounce around a little bit. Let's do a little 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Earn up to $700 per year with boost checking from Flagler Credit Union. Number 1.
Ben Roethlisberger. He's still doing the dang thing. He's jumping into the media world after his football career. And on the show that Ben Roethlisberger is on, Footballin', spelled F-O-O-T-B-A-H-L-I-N, Footballin' with Ben Roethlisberger, he said, I would take Aaron Rodgers in his prime over Patrick Mahomes right now. What do you think about that? Because we know Aaron Rodgers did beat Ben Roethlisberger in a Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. I am mistaken. Ben Roethlisberger beat him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Played him in the Super Bowl.
Would it be? I'm thinking about it. Is it that crazy to say? No. Think about prime. Top of their game. Was there anybody ever as good as Aaron Rodgers was at his best? 2010 playoffs Aaron Rodgers. Is there anybody better than that?
If you're trying to have the best stats in the NFL, okay, yeah, I would go that. But we all know and are well aware Patrick Mahomes is not interested in playing the prettiest football in the NFL.
Yeah, he used to be.
Breaking those records.
Earlier in his career, he was interested in all the statistics and everything. And now you're right. Now he's taking the Brady route.
Just win the games.
Get through the game. Get through the game.
And I wouldn't take anyone other than Brady, in the history of the NFL over Patrick Mahomes to get that objective done.
One point I agree with. If you're trying to win the game, you got a fourth quarter ahead of you, and you're down 7 and you need to win the game, you're taking Brady, and then you're taking Mahomes. So I guess if you're talking about from that specific perspective, but Aaron Rodgers at his best was as good as anybody. Was he as good of a winner as anybody else? Probably not. But he never really had the benefit of excellent teams around him consistently, while Mahomes and Brady both had. So it's hard to kind of gauge that, because think about it for a second. At first, Kansas City was this high-flying, punch you in the face 1,000 times offense, and now they've turned it into this defensive juggernaut where Mahomes sort of just manages the game and gets you through it. Brady has had his moments of high-flying juggernaut offense and has now turned later in his career into stout defensive teams and get it done offensively and win the game. Rodgers was always, you had to be a hero offensively or they're not going anywhere. And it's hard to gauge his career on that because the Packers really never gave him a ton to work with consistently. There are times when Rodgers probably should have moved on to the Super Bowl where he didn't. There are probably times where he should have won playoff games when he didn't. But you're right. I mean, in terms of winning a game, go out there, win us the game, you're taking those two. But I think Rodgers in his prime, in terms of as being good at football, I think he's as good as anybody. I don't think that's unfair to say.
Yeah, if you're going to draft a Madden franchise, right? Like if you just are playing video games and you want the guy who's 100 overall, I guess prime Rodgers might be better than Mahomes right now. But yeah, like you said, winning the football game.
Win a game. That's it. That's it.
But also, hey, Rodgers' head coaching stability, a little bit different. I mean, we still have not seen Patrick Mahomes without the rock that's Andy Reid.
And you never saw Brady until the end of his career when Brady had the ultimate, prove-it moment.
Validation.
Yeah.
Our eyes are not deceiving us. We're not wool over our eyes. No. Brady is that good because he did it with someone other than Belichick.
Right. So, because of that, and granted, Rodgers has had good head coaches, but yes, I agree. Multiple, though.
Number 2.
Let's talk a little bit of golf because both tours are going on right now. You have the Rocket Classic, not a signature event. Those are done with, but still some pretty big names there. And you have Live Golf Dallas. They returned from a very long hiatus. They're competing right now for their first of 3 rounds in Dallas. And 2 things happened today on both tours, but it's the same thing. Erupting in anger on the tee box. Steven Yeager, after piping a drive into the rough on the right side, he smashes his club on the ground 3 times.
You know what hole this was? Was it early in the round? I was curious.
I will look up that soon.
Okay, we'll find that later.
Brooks Koepka from, of course, the Live Golf team Smash GC. Also hit a drive, didn't like it, and smashed his club first on the ground, thinks about it, pauses for a second, then takes his driver and smashes a tee marker that's to his left. Knocks it out of frame.
Wow.
And Brooks Koepka has since withdrawn from Live Golf Dallas with what he is citing to be illness. How do you view pros on the golf course that react like petulant children?
It's tricky because it's very human. Anybody who's ever played golf listening to this, you've never lost your mind in the golf course? You never blown a fuse?
4th hole for Yager.
4th hole?
He was already fed up.
He had a rough morning. 4th hole. Jeez. But, I mean, the way I look at it is it's a human reaction. But, again, when you're set to the standard of a professional, part of it is being professional. There's a reason that, professional football players don't act like players playing football in amateur leagues growing up. Just because adults who are not professionals lose their mind in the golf course doesn't mean professionals should. You got to hold yourself to a higher standard because they are a higher standard. They're better golfers. They're paid more. They do it professionally. Can't lose your mind like that, especially when there's people watching and there's people that paid there to see you. That would be my takeaway.
Yeah, I agree with it. Kind of held to a different standard.
But you're human. That's the one thing I'll say, too. You're human. You lose your mind. You didn't hurt anybody, I hope.
He really could have hurt. Brooks Koepka has some answering to do.
Right.
Because you're a professional golfer. A object, shrapnel, projectile off of your driver head into, maybe he peeked and saw that it was nothing behind him, but those things are sharp.
They need one of those destruction rooms at the ninth hole where you just go in with glasses and a baseball bat with a bunch of breakable bases and everything like that, and you can just light it up if you're having a bad round. That's what they need.
I would like that. How about the
Liv would do that. Liv might do that. Liv would be into that. That would be fun. Home Depot Lowe's presents the break room.
Yes, I was thinking like you have in action movies where you have the sugar glass where you just take bottles and you bash them over your head and it doesn't actually hurt anything.
Right.
Just do that and just break stuff where people get in on the action. I think some sponsor will pony up some cash to
Lowe's,
present.
one of those home improvement stores. Somebody get somebody involved in that.
I think that would work.
Number 3.
Let's go to baseball, where the general manager of the San Francisco Giants joined his local radio station today when they confronted him and said, "Why isn't there a Barry Bonds statue here in San Fran?" Here's what he had to say.
You know what? No disagreement from us on that topic. On the radar, I would say on the radar.
Did you know Barry Bonds did not have a statue? I
did know he did not have a statue.
Is it Oracle? Is that what they call
Oracle
it?
Park.
Okay.
Now they're going to change it. They're going to do it now.
He said it's in the works.
18 years later. I mean, geez. I mean, I get it. But Barry Bonds is sort of the beneficiary of a bit of not a revisionist history, but everybody. It's a polarizing figure in sports. But one thing that is true is that Giants fans love him. The Giants fans love him. They adore him. So off of that, I mean, I get it. Statistically, he has a bunch of untouchable records, but he cheated. He was a steroid user. But again, there's no rules for the quality of ethicality in their steroid use and whether they could get a statue or not. So go for it. I did know that he did not have one. You're gonna do one 20 years later, I guess. But I mean, I would give one to Buster Posey before I give one to Barry Bonds.
Really?
Yeah. Just because they won titles.
Yeah, that's true.
That is more important to me. The fact that they were winning titles in 2010, they had some famous losses. The Marlins. Oh, geez.
So this is you take out the cheating. The L.A. Angels giving a title. Who was the best player? Was it Vlad Guerrero? I think he was
on the 2002 team.
Yeah,
yeah,
the World Series team. Not Mike Trout getting one.
It's a little different. I mean, yes, I understand the point, but if Trout cheated, but yes,
right.
I understand.
But if you're the owner of the Giants or you're the Giants organization,
hey,
you want Barry.
Give them both one. I mean,
right. You want Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame, don't you?
Definitely.
And that's not allowed.
Definitely.
Or it's not being voted on. But the one thing you can control if you were the San Francisco Giants is giving him a statue. That feels like you taking the power that you have and displaying it.
We can't determine whether it's the right thing or wrong thing to do to commemorate him because he's a crucial part of baseball history. He invigorated a lot of interest in baseball. I mean, it doesn't do me any good. Do I think he needs to be commemorated in Giants history? Probably not, because they never won anything. But I understand the idea of why you'd want to commemorate him in a version of a statue. What's number 4?
Number 4.
Really the only storyline of substance that is interesting to a certain extent of the NBA draft is a 5th overall pick, Ace Bailey, making it known where he wanted to go. And that was not Utah. And that was not the Utah Jazz. And he made it known in his face when he got drafted to the Utah Jazz that he wasn't very happy. Here's what Brian Windhorst had to say in the situation that's still developing.
I do not think any team in this situation would give in. They have the ultimate position, and I do not see Danny Ainge giving in. And here's the bottom line. The Utah Jazz play in Salt Lake City, and I say this as somebody who lives in the middle of the country. They cannot worry about whether a player wants to be in Salt Lake City or whether he loves to fit on their roster. They have to draft and develop the most talented players they can. That is why they took him, despite him not working out, and they will absolutely not budge on this. And eventually Ace Bailey is going to be a Utah Jazz. We'll just see how long it takes for him and his representation to figure that out.
What do you think about the Ace Bailey situation? Is it clearly there's a villain here and there's a protagonist, and the villain is Ace Bailey?
I hate kind of raining on a 19-year-old like that, but I think this is a good thing. This is going to be a good thing for Ace Bailey in the long run as well, because you're getting sort of a slice of what the NBA is really about. I think the idea that star players run the NBA has given a false pretense to the up-and-comers that they can control more than they can control. LeBron can do whatever he wants. Jimmy Butler can do whatever he wants. Guys who are elite, top 20, top 25 players in the entire league of 300-something people, they can do what they want and get away with it. Guys coming into the NBA draft who are not even the best player in the draft can't do that. He was definitely mismanaged or misrepresented. I think I give credit to Danny Ainge, stubborn. I think Ace Bailey, there couldn't be a worse person that Ace Bailey could have been drafted to because he is not going to budge. Here's your jersey. I'll see you on Monday. See what happens. So off of that, I would say 19-year-old kid, you make mistakes, but you look like an idiot here. Now you got every front office that doesn't like you, every coach doesn't like you, and every player doesn't like you. Now you got an uphill battle to prove yourself in the NBA.
Kind of like, is this a fair comparison? The guy that just got hired sees maybe someone who's been there for 5 to 10 years leave early on a summer Friday, and then he, on his first Friday, also leaves early on a summer Friday. You got to earn some things in the NBA.
You know what? Loosely, that makes sense. Loosely, I think I see you. I think I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I do.
Hello, but like Ace Bailey didn't want to get hired by the Utah Jazz.
But it's one of those jobs.
He got hired by the NBA.
You don't have a choice. You get hired by a big-time corporation, and they stick you in Spokane, Washington. But it's a great company, and you have no other choice because this is everything you've devoted your life to. There is no exit opportunity unless you want to go play professionally in Australia. And, all right, well, you're going to be in Spokane. You realize in 4 years you can go wherever you want, but then we're getting too far down the rabbit hole, but it makes sense. I understand what you're saying.
Number 5.
Colin, you and I were at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium amongst many other ESPN West Palm personnel like Theo Dorsey, like Tina Costanza from Theoretically Speaking. And we partook in a lot of heckling of the opposing team. Mets versus Hammerheads. Hammerheads, the home team. Mets, in that case, were the road team. So we were trying to help out the Jupiter Hammerheads. Heckling in baseball has been a point of conversation because of when it can go wrong in Chicago with Marte.
Saw it last week, yeah.
And the White Sox fan who's been banned from all baseball games, eternity. They're going to kick him at Little League games. What is the perfect strategy of being a baseball heckler?
A good heckler can make the crowd laugh. You don't want to be annoying because if you're annoying the player, you're likely annoying the fan. You want to say something that's creative and funny that is annoying to the player because, truth be told, getting into the player's head, he's already in his head. If he's playing poorly, he's already in his head. But if you could get everybody sort of the attention on him via being creative, I think that's the best version of heckling. Do I think that, grilling a guy, saying he sucks 500 different times, through the second through fifth inning, I'd want to move seats if there was a guy next to me doing that. But if there was a guy that creatively had some fun jabs, even some knock jabs that work and are creative, and it can make people laugh around you. I think that is the best version that I can get behind a heckle.
I like doing a little bit of research. I like going on this single-A baseball player's Instagram and finding out that he was on a boat yesterday. And I'll ask him, you should have been in the batting cage. You're batting 175. I like bringing up stats. And you are right. You have to make the people around you laugh. If you don't even get a chuckle out of them, I think the door's just closed. Like, you just can't inconvenience everyone around you because you want open mic night at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium.
Right.
Which I think I didn't do a good performance last night at Roger Dean.
You had some good knocks.
Yeah.
We were outshined by the group next to us. There was a group of probably 29, 30 kids that were really going after, not going after, but they were really getting into it.
They were being baseball fans.
Yeah.
And they were like, they chanted, no one in the history of baseball has ever chanted, bases loaded. That's not a chant. I'm sorry. And so they were doing that. We were getting outshined. You are correct. We got
outshined.
We were reading between the lines. When people think about the crowd atmosphere at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, they don't think about Colin Russo and Christian Cat with
Those
chirps.
kids were getting people to chug their beers.
Yes.
We wouldn't have been able to do that. We don't have that power.
No, we did
If
not.
we started chanting at random strangers saying chug, 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 they wouldn't have done it.
No, we would have had the usher come down and say, please knock that off.
Please
You're
stop.
scaring the children.
Please stop and follow me. Please stop and follow me. That's the 5 and 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. Of course, that's Christian Cat, Colin Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Christian had an interesting experience in the golf course this morning. We're going to get into that and a little bit more. Stick around for it. It's Russo and Rizzo taking a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
On the fly, baby. There was.
Tired of being
that was thinking of the next topic
injury?
when I'm delivering the topic before.
Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
It's Tina. You know how important it is to keep your car running. And when it comes to my car, I only trust St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been taking care of South Florida for over 50 years, and they're still family-owned. Need new tires? They've got all the big brands. Battery issues? They've got it. Cars, trucks, boats, RVs, and even commercial fleets. And if you ever get stuck, their 24/7 roadside emergency service is a total lifesaver. Go see my friends at St. Lucie Battery and Tire, slbt.com. They'll keep you going.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Summer is heating up, and so are the St. Lucie Mets. Clover Park is the top summer destination for sports fans looking to get the most bang for their buck in July. Be there for all the excitement on the field and in the stands. The biggest and best fireworks show on the Treasure Coast is coming to Clover Park on Thursday, July 3rd. Tickets are on sale now at stluciemets.com. See you at the ballpark this summer.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc.
Are you one of those people that just can't focus at home? The dog barks, the kids are screaming, and you're thinking, how am I going to get all of this work done? Working from home can be distracting, but Intelligent Office is here to help you focus. They offer quiet and affordable private office and meeting spaces in Palm Beach Gardens to help you get your work done. Call 561-472-8400 or visit intelligentoffice.com to reserve an office today.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Christian Cat, no Mike Rizzo today. We're on your radio dial at ESPN 106.3. Also streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Well, now we're in it's June 27th. We're in the thick of the summer months here in South Florida. Make sure your AC and HVAC units are up to date and not going to fall apart here and leave you in a tight spot. John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing are your locally serviced and produced option. Proudly serving Palm Beach County since 1960. They keep your home cool and comfortable. Did you know that 90% of system breakdowns on units less than 10 years old, they could have been prevented had they been regularly and properly maintained by a professional? What you can do is you could have one of Cassidy's highly trained technicians. They can come over to your home, troubleshoot, perform diagnostic checks, make sure everything is good with your system, and it doesn't even matter the brand or the age. CassidyAC.com. Go visit it today for more information and to get involved with John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing. All right, Christian, you were able to squeeze in 18 this morning. What happened?
Yeah, under the gun. I was going to this golf course that aerated their greens 2 weeks ago. And this is when they're offering discounted rates. So, right up my alley. And the great thing is, 2 weeks ago, they're not that bumpy. The greens are not that bumpy anymore. They punch the holes in the green and people complain about it. I'm okay with that, especially when you're giving me pretty much half off golf. So I've been going to this place, I think it's my third time there in this recent run. And I would get there, I'd buy a tee time online that was discounted at like $7.54. And I would show up at 7, and they would let me on before anybody else because I was already there. Didn't happen this time.
So you got there early and you're waiting around. And time comes to 7:40 after I'm just putting around the green, chipping a little bit, get to my cart, fill up my water, taking my time, warming up, whatever. I go to the starter, I go, hey, I'm a single. 7:54 is my tee time, but I'm ready to go if you ever want to throw me on there because I'm trying to get to work. That's the honest truth, is if I truly had a round that was a little bit too long with a 7:54 tee time, it kind of puts me up against it time-wise. It coincides, yes.
With work. So he goes, do you want to join the guys that are on the box right now? It's just 3 of them. And I go, I would love to do that. One, it's nice because you have people that are in a cart and a third person. He already has his cart. They're not going to make us combine carts because they're already at the tee box. So that's nice to be able to drive your own cart in the peace of your own morning. And it's also nice because I'm getting on 15 minutes earlier than I thought I was going to have to.
Okay.
So I joined this threesome.
Did you get their names?
One was Jake, one was Julie, and one was Dennis.
Perfect. You got their names. That's all I cared about.
Might not have been Jake. I know there was an older man named Dennis, and I know that there was a younger woman named Julie who probably was 25 to 20, right in that age range.
Okay.
Another guy who was the same age as her, and they were in the same cart. I assume that that's a couple. That's a fair assumption to make. And the guy was by himself in his own cart, older man. I believe that he was separate from them. He was just another single that got added on to that pair of golfers.
So you made up this foursome, okay?
Yep, we complete it, get to the tee box. Thankfully, they're playing the same tees as I am, the white tees, trying to put up a good score. Played here a couple of days ago, didn't play very well from the blues, so I'm going to go back to the whites, shorten the yardage a little bit. Play for a little bit, get to the hole 2, and it's the classic older guy is giving golf tips to the younger woman that are unsolicited. She did not ask for help. She did not want a tip, and it always happens this way on a driving range, at a golf course, on a practice green. It's always
what
the
shot
cliche.
Was this? Was it on the driver?
This was on her approach at this point. She was not very good. She was just picking up the game, obviously, and she was having trouble getting down the course. Oftentimes would pick up her ball and chip from the fringe at some points, and she wasn't sure. She was trying to get better, like everyone was, like I was 2 years ago. So he takes it upon himself to, hey, you want to grip the club like this? Weight in the front foot. Doing this on hole 3 and on hole 4. She doesn't seem to be into it. She's not asking. Again, she is not asking for golf tips.
Reluctantly accepting these, yes.
The impolite older gentleman, whatever. We got to complete 4 hours of golf today, so I'm not going to. She doesn't want to cause a scene.
Yeah, don't stir the pot.
Cause a problem. But this is happening on hole 3, hole 4, hole 5, hole 6. And we got people behind us. We've got a pair behind us. So they're playing quicker. So we kind of got people in the fairway.
We don't have time
when she's getting a golf lesson.
For math class,
Exactly.
Doctor. Let's move on.
This goes on. Hole 9, we're just kind of waiting there. I forget what for. And I make a snide remark to her and her boyfriend, who I assume is her boyfriend. Another lesson, huh? I don't know if you're asking for these, are you? And she goes, no. Not really, but it's whatever. He's nice. She kind of brushes it off. At hole 11, I strike up a conversation with the older gentleman.
Trying to get both sides of the story, huh?
I guess so. I forget what it was exactly about. Oh, he was asking about other courses around the area. I tell him I love the club at Lost Lake, of course. We play there with the ESPN West Palm. And he goes, yeah, well, they flew down here, so we're trying to get some rounds in together. Turns out that's her dad. Oh. So I was trying to protect the daughter from golf tips from her dad.
You know, rule number 1,
yeah,
don't be a hero. Yeah. Don't be a hero. That's what you were trying to do. You're trying to be a hero.
Yeah, I was trying to say, yeah, I see you're in a comfortable spot. That sucks. Feel for you.
Creepy old guy, huh? Like messing with you? She's like, well,
yeah.
Wow. How'd you feel about that?
Did
that give you a little cringe for the last 8 holes?
Yeah, that was tough. Thankfully, I was in my own cart, so I didn't stew in it with somebody else and face the music. But white knighting for this young lady whose boyfriend was there. And obviously,
are we sure it was a boyfriend or was it not a brother?
Probably was a boyfriend.
Oh, so we don't need it.
They weren't affectionate though.
You know what the easy solution to all these issues are?
What?
A little bit more communication, just casually talking to people. Just a little bit more communication. If Christian started off the hole number 1 and said, "Hi, I'm Christian. What is your name? What is your name? What is your name?" God. Dennis, Julie, whatever their names were. And then, hey, what are you guys doing here? Like, you guys live here? You guys live around the area? What do you guys do for a living? You're not trying to interview them casually. You got 4 hours together. You might as well learn something about them. Christian doesn't do this. I don't understand why he doesn't do this. But instead, he's going to read context clues for the next 9 holes and then try to come up with a conclusion that the dad giving his daughter a golf lesson is actually raining on everybody's parade. Instead, it's not.
Played well today, though. Had a couple of blow-up holes.
We need a checklist. Just first 6 holes, 4 questions. Hey, what's your name? Are you from the area? What do you guys do for a living? And do you guys know each other? 4 questions. Get it done within the first 6
How do you guys know each other?
How do you guys know each other? Do you? One of the 2.
They might have been brother or sister. Now that I think
You're
about it.
reading more context clues? It might have been brother or sister?
Yeah. They might have been brother or sister because they never showed any affection like that.
Okay. All you got to say.
But I also got the impression of boyfriend meeting father for the first time. Like on the back 9, when I started to take a step back and think about this and observing the interactions.
Hey, where you get? What brings you guys down to Florida? You said you were flying in. Where are you flying in from? Did you even get that information?
Yes. They're from New York. So we talked about the Ryder Cup and Bethpage, and one of the guys is from right around Bethpage. Okay. So he'll be at the Ryder Cup this year.
All right. That's great. This your family? That could have been an easy one.
That would have worked.
These are your 2 kids? No, this is my daughter and her boyfriend. Oh, great. Couple questions, Christian. I'm not asking for an interview.
I'm working on my game. That's what I'm worried about.
No.
I'm not worried about the social aspect of the game in that
Well, then you put yourself in a tough spot when you're trying to save the daughter from a impromptu lesson from the random guy in the golf course, and it turns out to be your father.
What is it, an empath? Is that one you like?
Empath, yes.
I kind of put myself in her shoes, and I thought, damn, that would be very annoying. I would want someone else who recognized how weird it was.
You drew conclusions.
Indirectly.
Pretty directly. You did tell her.
When you're playing golf, do you like tips, any at all, unsolicited?
Yeah, I probably would accept it because I'm not good. I'm not good at all. So because of that, I would probably accept it. You know, if it's a guy who stinks, if the guy stinks, I'm like, all right, dude.
That is annoying.
Pot's calling the kettle black here, huh? Like, I mean,
go to any driving range and you will get that situation.
Yeah. A guy who's like, 3 months in instead of 2 months in, it's going to be like, hey, you should hold it like this. I'm like, listen.
That's me.
Saw your drive. I don't know. I don't know if you're the perfect guy for me to to seek advice from. You got burned there.
On one hand, they know what it's like to be bad, and they might be a little bit better than you, and you would probably want to be as good as them in this very moment. Like on that tee box, you wish that...
If it's practical, it'd be like, hey, you know what? I was doing the same. It depends on phrasing.
Like, hey, try moving the ball just a little bit forward and see if it works for you.
If it'd be like, I used to be doing the same thing about a month ago. That was me. You know what I changed that actually helped? I did this. You can try it if you want. Don't have to try it, but that's really what worked. Perfect. Thank you. Instead of like wrapping around his hips, like, hey, you gotta arms around.
Squash the bug. Squash the bug.
Just do this. Instead of that, if you're kind of open about it and you're like, hey, I was doing the same thing. You want to know what worked for me? And the guy says, hey, sure. What's up? This, that, boom. Then now it's a little bit more nuanced. You gotta give an exit. You gotta give an exit. You can't just provide your service without any sort of introduction.
It has to be not overbearing.
Yeah. Even ask him a question. If the guy's splicing, he's like, you ever figure out why you're splicing or something like that? Probably not the right way to phrase that. But
slicing. No P.
Whatever. You want it, why, do you ever try to diagnose what's going on there? And you're like, well, yeah, I don't hold this right. I don't hold this right. I'm like, I did the same thing. You want to know what I did? Boom. That's much more inviting of I feel like a social interaction to try to teach somebody how to play golf, no?
There was someone who was a lot better than me when I played with a random pair about 3 weeks ago now, somewhere in Lake Worth, and he never took a driver or a 3-wood or anything like that off the tee. It was only irons. The entire round was only irons. He had a driver in his bag, so around hole 8, I'm like, oh, so iron off the tee box. So when did you start doing that? And he thought it was a knock. So on the 9th tee box, he felt like I was challenging him to take driver, and he sliced the ever-living God out of it. It's gone, and he got mad at me. He was like, oh, you had to force me to take the driver, and now that happened. I'm like, dude, all I do is ask a question.
Yeah. You should have had you had an opportunity to be like, I see why you do the drivers. I see why you do the irons. I see why you stay away. I mean, it was a little bit of a challenge. You don't bring that up. It was a little bit of a challenge.
Got some news out of the NBA. Ace Bailey, he is reporting to the Utah Jazz.
Oh. Guy shows up to work. Making millions of dollars. Oh, praise the Lord. He shows up, signs a $40 million contract.
Oh, that kind of heals things. That
signing bonus. Oh, you know what? Maybe Utah's not that bad. Go get a nice house in the hills. Ace Bailey. Christian Cat, Colin Russo and Rizzo taking the time out here. We'll close out the program next on a Friday edition, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Introducing DQ Grill & Chill's new sauced and tossed buffalo chicken strips. A basket of 100% all-white meat seasoned chicken strips, now being served with blue cheese or ranch dressing dips. The blizzard of the month is the Strawberry Cheesecake Blizzard, a new flavor for the summer, featuring a creamy blend of strawberry cheesecake pieces in vanilla soft serve, dipped in strawberry topping. DQ Grill & Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's new press. Bigger, faster, and more competitively priced than anything you'll find anywhere in the Palm Beaches. Think variable data postcards, bulk mailings, and high-quality print on stocks up to a 24-point board. Banyan Printing. Visit banyanonline.com and discover how your business's printing materials can get bigger and better.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Christian Cat. Football is not here yet. NBA Finals, NBA Draft is concluded. We got a little free agency stuff coming up next week. NHL, a little free agency stuff coming up next week. Panthers have won 2 in a row. The parade is over. I'll be watching Wimbledon next week, but I know Christian won. I know most of the people won't. Fine.
Wow, that's a concession.
Most of the American common sports fan does not have something to watch every night unless you are an every game, 162-game watcher of your baseball team. I watch, I'll be safe, maybe, the A's now, maybe under a little under half. I would say around 60 to 70 games a year of the A's. And I think that's probably a fair assessment, partially because they're 11-30 in their last 41 games, but also because there's just always other stuff on. Point being, next 2 months between now and college football starting, which is about a little under 2 months, what's going to occupy your attention?
So, thankfully, I'm a wrestling fan, which has no offseason.
Right, but that is
always a nice crutch,
that
though.
is a once-a-week thing, no?
You can. Big news in the media world yesterday, if I recall, was SiriusXM made a wrestling 24/7 channel.
Is that going to take up your attention, that the new wrestling channel on SiriusXM?
Dave LaGreca and busted open 24/7, and there is wrestling on Mondays with Monday Night Raw. There is Tuesdays with the developmental brand. Wednesday, a whole new company, AEW in the past 5 years.
Right.
Thursday, TNA. That's still a thing that exists. Friday is SmackDown. Saturday, there's another AEW show on then, too. And then in the weekends, you have pay-per-views every once in a while. You can fill up with wrestling. I won't do it to that extent. I'll just watch the shows that I watch on Mondays and sometimes Saturdays and then the pay-per-views.
So that's 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, so I can get by, especially if maybe one night I don't watch it live. I instead just watch it on Hulu after the fact and watch a movie that night. I can fill up my time with that, and I watch golf.
Right.
Golf's my kind of safe weekend.
Every
it's
weekend.
Always on.
Totally. Always on in the weekend. I agree with that. I like watching the final round. A random tournament on a Friday, I can't get into it, but I could totally get into final round, Saturday round, something like that of a tournament, especially if it's interesting. A couple decent players are playing. I'll get into a Wimbledon, of course. Baseball regular season will be a matchup-based situation. You know, the thing about the A's is they don't have first pitch until 10:10 on most nights.
Tough.
So what am I going to do? I'm going to watch A's Giants 10:10 first pitch.
You get up early, right? You work out in the morning and stuff?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I get up like break of dawn most days. So that is just not really in the cards. And I think honestly 60 to 70 is probably being a little forthcoming. This year will probably be 50 to 60. But point being, occupying my attention. The offseason is, and this is the offseason of sports, it's a good time to catch up. There's a number of shows I haven't watched that I need to watch. There's a number of movies that I need to watch that I haven't watched. And I'm going to be training a lot, so that'll take up the bulk of my attention. And then at night, I could sleep instead of, staying up for, the Thunder game that kicks off at tip-off 10:15. I go to bed. So I actually appreciate that a little bit. I'll be a little bit of an old man the next 2 months.
Squid Game, I think, comes out today.
Not a Squid Game guy. Didn't do it for me. Didn't bite it for me.
The Bear came out yesterday or the day before that.
So what I'm doing is I'm going up north to go home for, my parents are going to be at Wimbledon, and they're coming back like July 5th, which is a Saturday. And I'm going up to the Jersey Shore for July 4th, and I'm going to come back July 5th or 6th, which the Sunday, and I'm going to fly back the Monday morning. So I'll have a day at home. I haven't seen my parents in a couple months. So, and they get back that Saturday. And my mom and I are going to schedule our bear watching because she's a big fan of it as well. And we'll watch the last 2 episodes together for then. So I've already scheduled how I'm going to do that. I got to be ready the last 2 episodes by next Sunday, which is totally easy.
The Bear's annoying me, man. I watched 2 episodes of the season.
Of the new one?
Yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. It just
another day at the office. That's what I've heard.
It's like everything's the same. Every episode feels the same, the way they start it and the way they end it.
Just another day at the office.
But I did see Mad Dog post in Scotland. Is there any motivation for you to play golf and become competent golf?
That was the initial motivation. Was I wasn't getting invited. That trip has been booked for a year. But yeah, he brought his favorite son to go play in Scotland for 10 days. Now, karma got him, and they had an awful travel day getting in. They had to miss a round of golf because they had 2 flights getting canceled. Everybody was a nightmare, missing clubs, the whole thing. So, good. And and then, you know what's funny, too, is because my sister had the Chalamet thing. My older brother had this. He's got another movie premiere because him and Mike are doing a spot for it. You know Darren Aronofsky? He does a lot of big movies. He's done Black Swan. I don't know. He's done a couple big movies. He's got a movie with Austin Butler coming out in August.
Guy who played Elvis, a budding star, and I think my dad's doing something for that movie. Okay.
And he's going to be at the premiere in New York City, and he's bringing child number 3. I'm child number 4, and he's bringing child number 3 to that. So he's going to be hanging out, with Austin Butler, hanging out with everybody, having a good time. So I'm waiting on mine. I don't know what I think
you're going to get a nice trip to next year's spring training game at Cacti Park at the Palm Beaches.
He's like, hey, you want to go down the street, head out and go see the Astros? Yeah.
Drinks are on me.
Totally. Thanks, Dad. So I'm not going to, he got the Scotland trip. Apparently they're having a great time, though. Apparently decent weather. But, yeah, that will motivate me because he does want to play with me. He that's why he rains on me whenever I'm doing the triathlon stuff. He's like, you're wasting your time. And I'm like, all right, I'm not wasting my time.
You're doing it while you can.
But he's like, I kind of want to play. He's like telling me, kind of guilt tripping me. He's like, we got to play golf one day. I'm like, we'll play golf one day. We could play golf tomorrow if you really wanted to, but you don't want to sit through my round.
Oh, this kind of sound. You know what this sounds like, and it's sad. It sounds like a grandma who is badgering their granddaughter that she needs to get engaged because she wants to dance at the wedding.
Well,
I think Mad Dog is thinking about the future here.
He's got his golf guys. He could care less if I'm there or not. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. He could care less. But I think he does want to play a little bit because whenever he plays with he doesn't even like playing with my older brother. My older brother is a nut job on the course. It's the type who gets all pissed off all the time.
Like Brooks Koepka lived off Dallas today.
He needs a break room at the 9th hole. But so that's why he doesn't even like playing with him that much. I would probably be a little bit more enjoyable to play with. But I got to get good at golf one of these days. And then...
you been to Scotland yet?
I've not been to Scotland.
Ooh.
I've been to Ireland. I've not been to Scotland. Apparently it's great. Hard to get to. Bad karma on the flights over there. So don't go from JFK. That's Christian Cat, Colin Russo. Russo and Rizzo closing out here. If you missed any of the program today, go back and listen. Russo and Rizzo, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Listen to Saturday Tailgate tomorrow, 9 a.m. Sunday Huddle, 10 a.m. on Sunday. And ESPN West Palm High School Game Day coming up next. Saying so long, we'll see you on Monday. ESPN 106.3.
Hi, it's Luis Fonsi. In the world of music, versatility allows you to capture the moment and create something amazing. Ford SUVs are